I'm Dan with Consequence of Sound. We're here with Bert from the U's.
Consequential, dude.
How
Whoa.
you doing today, Bert?
Just got hit hard in the face with the name of this. What is this a publication? Is this a blog?
A website.
A website. What is the consequence of sound? What are the consequence of a sine wave?
Aren't we named after a Regina Spektor song?
Oh, cool.
I don't know.
That's both cool and not cool at the same time for some reason.
Bert, your last record came out 2 years ago, The Canyon. What have you guys been working on since then?
A lot. We've been working on a lot since then. We are currently in the process of recording new music with John Feldman. We did 10 days and 10 demos before this tour, and we will be spending all of September in the studio, so can expect for new music to be coming out sometime in the next 10 years, I'm sure.
That's a tight time period.
But we are really experimenting outside of the box. Our last record was kind of an art project and an experiment to test the limits of spiritual connection to emotive music, and to record it all on tape. And I think that it was our dream come true type of situation to record a rock record. So this time around, all the rules and all the limitations are off the table. The answer is yes.
Awesome. You guys have worked with John Feldman a lot, right?
Yeah, we have. We did self-titled record with him. We did In Love and Death with him. We did Lies for the Liars with him. Vulnerable we did with him. Imaginary Enemy we did with him. And then this new record is really shaping up to be something special. I think kind of a throwback to where the Used came from, and maybe the Used personified as a man, being almost 20 years old. I'd like to hug that guy. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy.
Cool. Anything else you can tell us about it?
That's kind of all I know so far. I mean, I think that the band has never been in a better place, and yeah, we're really excited. I mean, I think that we've seen, and there's a few bands out here, and there's a few bands in particular, I won't name any names, but it's impossible to fake it after a certain amount of years. You stick around, you keep making music, and it's like, oh, those guys, it's obvious that they love music. And yeah, all the ups and downs in the ride has been just incredible. So for us, we're just simply grateful to be here. That's the most sincere thing I could say. So the more records we get to make, the more tours we get to do, is just another piece of the dessert puzzle. It's like our expectations are very low, which I think will keep all the successes really exciting. And it keeps the lows in check as well.
Okay. Cool. Now I want to ask you about The Canyon. You guys aren't really strangers to longer songs, but I think with the exception of a double album, that was probably your longest release. It's 17 songs, and most of the songs are 4 or 5 minutes long. Is there any specific reason why you guys wanted to do longer arrangements? You said it was an art project.
Yeah, like I said, it was kind of something for me personal. Like, I often bring this up because it was so real at the time. We talked a lot about recording the whole thing and then taking all the tapes and throwing them in the ocean. It was really an art experiment to see how far I could go into the grieving process. I've lost one of the most important people to me in my life, and so I made a record about his death and what led up to his demise and the way that I dealt with it on the way out. So yeah, we don't even play songs from it anymore. That's how kind of personal and special it was for us. A short song is often encouraged by a producer for the mass public and their meaningless attention spans, I think. Menial attention span.
Not a lot above 3.5 minutes gets radio airplay.
I believe that humans are best when they are put under pressure and put under stress, and they perform best when they're challenged. And I think people really benefit from art that takes time to explore and to kind of dissect and philosophize and kind of weigh it out against your own life. We listen to music because we hear ourselves and we hear our story in the song. Same, we read books because we read ourselves in those books. And so I think people not only deserve but enjoy the challenge. For me, a big fat book where I have to really dig in and put in some hard work. By the end of that, I this feeling of accomplishment is such an incredible high. Not comparing the used art. We're also very lowest common denominator, pop sensible, but that's another side of it.
Now, I read somewhere that you're teaching your daughter Shakespeare soliloquies.
Right.
I think that's really awesome.
Me too.
So
She learns them way quicker than I do as
Yeah.
well. There's a book called How to Teach Your Children Shakespeare. You can also use a fantastic Google search to check that one out. I think the guy wrote it for his high school kids. But when my daughter was 2, I was like, she can talk. Obviously, she can memorize Shakespeare. We're almost 20, 25, 30. I lose track, but we're deep in the soliloquies. She goes quick. So it's really, really put me to the test. It's helped me to kind of dive head first. It's important for lyricists to have a stockpile of information in their brain. John Milton, when he wrote Paradise Lost, he wrote it blind. And there's over 1,200 references to other literature in that one poem. So it all came from his brain, if that makes sense. And for me, that is just something that I cannot even believe or fathom, right? With the world we live in, it's like I'm never gonna memorize as much Shakespeare as a computer. So it's a double-edged sword, but I think that there's still so many benefits to memorize. You never understand Shakespeare more fully than when you have it memorized. It's cool. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Her name's Cleopatra Rose, and she has inspired me on so many levels. Being a dad is way better than being a singer in a rock band.
does it affect your work with the U's, like either you're writing or performing?
I try to keep that healthy balance with everything in life. I believe there's a serious sacrifice, and hopefully, when she's older, she understands.
Cool. I read somewhere else that you said reading is like an addiction. What are you reading these days?
I'm reading a Confederacy of Dunces right now. Really good.
That's a great book.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I talk about Shakespearean. It's really on that John Falstaff type of level. But some other stuff I've been reading on this tour. I'm always reading The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. I'm always reading 1984. Orwell is just, in my mind, like a Mr. Rogers character. He's one of those men that was just pure humanitarian morals and ethics. A real man who would stand up and fight for what is actually right. What else have I been reading? Check it out, Donna Tartt, The Goldfinch. Slow going. I'll see how sad books are hard for me when I'm away from my daughters.
1984 is pretty sad, though, especially with that ending.
Oh, man, the gin-scented tears. I don't think it could have a different ending. I've tried to imagine it ending up, oh, Julia.
Now, it feels to us like Emo Night kind of took over the world. Could you talk a little bit about Emo Night and what you did with Circus Survive covering Heart-Shaped Box?
Yeah, I don't know much about Emo Night. Nice guys. We did a really cool thing that was kind of for promotion for the Disrupt tour. It was on Kurt Cobain's, what was it, 25th death day anniversary.
That sounds about
right. You
right.
can fact check me on that. Just hit up Google. They're great. But yeah, we covered 2 Nirvana songs acoustic, and it was actually the first time I sang with Anthony, which was incredible experiences. Our voices were really, the second we started singing together, it was like this, whoa, this is incredible. So yeah, it was very fun, very cool night. And just the fact that kids want to go in the clubs and hear these songs, Taking Back Sunday, The Used, My Chemical Romance, The Used, and The Taste of Ink, and The Used. It's just a good feeling. I think, and we are the type of band that celebrates. I celebrate that 18-year-old kid who wrote those lyrics. We'll never be the band who doesn't play our old stuff. We love it. We love it to bits. Hi everybody, welcome back to my vape vlog. Today we're gonna sit up really straight, shoulders back, take a deep breath, and feel your life falling away from you in dripples. Just kidding.
I can feel it.